And as we continue our conversations here at the 2025 National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention in Kansas City, Missouri, let's talk with the U.S. Soybean Export Council. Joining us, she is USSEC board chair and a Michigan soybean farmer. Janna Fritz is with us. Janna, great to talk with you. How are you?
I'm very well, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing great. Another busy week here with NAFB and Trade Talk. Glad we could get a few minutes to connect and talk about what's happening with USSEC. I should start, though. How was harvest season in Michigan? How things fare for you and your neighbors?
Good. I think it was a fairly smooth year in my area. My off-farm job works all over the state of Michigan. I work for a small seed company, so it takes me across most of this lower peninsula. Mm-hmm. And it depended on where you were, right? West side of the state had some issues with dry conditions, and the southern end of the thumb had some early wet conditions. But all in all, we didn't have too many big hiccups, which is great, right? Let's be thankful for that, to have a smooth season. I would not say that yields were record-breaking by any means, but we're probably coming out around average to a little bit above on corn and a little bit below on soybeans.
Well, good to hear it was fairly smooth sailing.
Yes.
And I think a lot of folks across the country, there was some areas we had issues and diseases in corn, I know southern rust, things like that. There were some bean troubles as well. But I think everyone really had a fairly smooth season overall, growing season overall.
Yeah, I get a lot of feedback through my work with ASA and USSEC, of course. And same thing, spotty here and there, but I think we're all coming out better than we maybe thought at one point in time in the season. Yeah.
Well, obviously, we'd all love to see these commodity prices go up a bit more. And trade, of course, is such a huge topic of conversation right now, and especially on the soybean side. And so catch us up on some things going on with USSEC. And I think more in general, I know you guys do a lot of important work to foster these relationships we have, these export relationships. So where are things at with USSEC right now, especially as we wrap up this year and look ahead to 2026 amid all the volatility and everything that's going on, all the outside noise that's out there, Janna?
Yes. No, you hit the nail right on the head, Jesse. We're always trying to develop the relationships and the networks and the contacts necessary to keep promoting the opportunity for U.S. soy internationally. And that far extends any immediate uncertainty that we've got going on, right? It's definitely a talking point lately. There's a lot going on in trade. There's a lot of questions. What are tariffs doing? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they promoting? From our perspective in USSEC, we've been in certain markets for as long as 70 years, right? We've been working in Japan for 70 years, China for 50. All these places that already have a preference for U.S. soy. We've got some mature markets, and more as these conversations happen, the one thing that I would point to with all the uncertainty is the opportunity. We've got a lot of folks coming to the table now to say, yep, we value the food space, the fact that soybeans can be within the human consumption food, plant-based protein, and also a feedstock to improve diets in a meat protein sense, aquaculture, poultry, pork, all of the above. So we've got a great product. We can stand on our quality, our reliability, sustainability. And so those relationships that far outlast any existing administration has always been our methodology, always been the way that we can use our boots on the ground to talk about how we can continue to build and move these high value protein sources into new markets.
A couple things you mentioned there that I always like to lean into a bit. Obviously, the quality, we know that. We know we grow such a high quality soybean here in the U.S., but also the sustainability piece. I know that's been a huge focus across USSEC, ASA, United Soybean Board, the entire industry as a whole, and trying to, have these sustainable practices and grow a more sustainable soybean. I mean, talk about that and just some of the initiatives we've had and where things kind of stand there.
Yeah. Soybean farmers, American farmers have really had sustainability at the heart of their management practices for years.
Yeah.
Now we are able to put that into a quantifiable soy sustainability assurance protocol. And we've got the ability to certify the shipments going abroad to have a logo and that says, yes, we can validate through third-party resources that this soy is sustainable. We also have even taken it a step further with USSEC where we can offer it going into the feed sector for products that are fed by sustainable U.S. soy. That logo, that mantra, that ability to point to the practices that we employ to provide this crop really mean a lot to those markets that value sustainability. And it's been a great tool for us in the toolbox to be able to certify and really validate the quality of that product going overseas.
Opportunity, you mentioned that. Where lies some of the biggest opportunity for growth as we look to 2026 and beyond? I could take a guess, but I'll let you kind of throw out here what your thoughts are and what USSEC sees as areas for the most opportunity looking forward.
Yeah, I think some of the key focus areas that we're looking at are Southeast Asia. We've got some partners already in the mix, namely Vietnam and Indonesia that have already had preference for U.S. soy, but some of their neighboring countries, Cambodia, other areas, again, Southeast Asia with their aquaculture needs, they're also, expanding in population and also in economic prosperity. So bringing those protein sources into those markets when we have a good amount already going that direction. We've got folks that are working with us already, but we're expanding that further. Southeast Asia. I would also say Central America, right? Mexico is our second largest trading partner right now, but just go a bit south of there. There's a demand for additional protein and an expanding livestock sector. So Central America is another area of focus for us.
Jim Sutter and I have talked a few times about Africa. What about the opportunity there?
Yeah, definitely. There's nowhere, the population expansion in Africa, it can't be denied, right? They have a very young population. They're always growing, and we always want to utilize whatever opportunity we have. We do a lot of work with USSEC through our soy excellence centers in sub-Saharan Africa, right? Working with small-scale poultry producers is one example to get better management practices into their poultry operations, grow, and have them use U.S. soy in their growth practices for poultry production. So that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, a lot of work you guys do at USSEC. Final thoughts, Janna. What would you leave listeners with here today, just to reiterate to them all of the work and the purpose that USSEC provides to the industry and more? I mean, what would you leave folks with today as a kind of a reminder as we look to close out this year and look ahead to 26?
Yeah. So, I've been in this role as chair for a little less than a year. I'll turn over my year as chair here in February, March. And every time I have the opportunity to travel, I am welcomed with existing thoughts and sentiment that they value our product, that they want to learn more about the soy farmer. Our boots on the ground are doing a great job. This whole international trade system when it comes to soy is so much bigger than I even realized as I got involved with USSEC. So I would share that with other farmers and say, you've got a great network working internationally to take your product abroad. Have faith in that, continue to work to support. And if you can share your story as a farmer, and if we can continue to tell others what we're doing, great. Please join your voice with the rest of us to continue to tell good things about U.S. soy, both domestically and internationally. That's what USSEC does. We're going to keep doing it.
U.S. Soybean Export Council Board Chair Janna Fritz from Michigan. Janna, thanks for stopping by and giving us an update from USSEC here at NAFB Convention. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.